We are set up here at the Great Ohio Toy Show in Xenia, Ohio at the Greene County Fairgrounds. This toy show is probably one of the largest, if not the largest, in this side of the United States. The Greene County Fairgrounds is huge. There's 7 giant buildings, and all of these buildings back here behind me have vendors set up. And we'll take a walk around here. Livestock 1, building number 1. This is actually where my booth is set up in another part of the building, but you can see it goes all the way back. We'll just do a walk around the grounds here real quick. We'll step inside. All vendor space in building 1. And then here you have my booth set up along with Lost and Found Toys over here. They were kind enough to hook me up with some space. One of the people they were set up with decided not to do this due to some scheduling conflict. This is just mind-blowing. It's an awesome, huge show. This is the biggest toy show that I've ever been to or seen. Out in the midway of the fairgrounds, they have food trucks that are setting up right now. Okay, this is building number 2. Another huge building here, about the same size as the first one, completely filled with vendors. We will also do a full walkthrough showing as many of the vendors as we possibly can. Once everyone is checked in, set up, and whatnot. This started at noon today, the vendor setup, and goes until 10 p.m. tonight. And then tomorrow, it's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Walking on over into building 3. Doesn't look like everyone is set up over here yet, but you can see this is the 3rd enormous space for vendors at this toy show. There's everything here. It's not just a couple different types of toys. It's vintage, it's modern, it's every toy line you could imagine. These guys, they just have so much stuff, so much neat stuff that some of it you just never knew even existed, or it was like a real fringe toy line. We've got a couple more of the food trucks that are set up. This is more like a festival than a toy show. So we just came out of the 3rd building, and 4th building is back up here a ways. Here's the toy department van. These guys have a store in Ohio, Fairfield, Ohio. Building number 4. Here you can see the space for this building. Most of the toy shows that you see are just maybe the size of this or smaller. The next building, a little bit bigger than the last, still just a massive amount of vendors set up. Building number 6. Building number 7 is also huge. Each one of these buildings, I swear, is bigger than some of the toy shows that I've been to. So I've actually gotten up with Rob, the owner, operator, and coordinator of the Great Ohio Toy Show. Tell us a little bit about this. What started it, and whatever else.
All right. Well, guys, just a few years ago, I don't know, maybe about 6 years ago, as a collector, I was going around to some of the different shops, and I said, guys, I know there's a lot of shows and cons. I said, what could I do if I created one that would be a little bit different? And so I asked a lot of the Dayton area toy shops, and they told me, they said, well, we like a Saturday show versus a Sunday show, and they, like a show with variety and stuff. And I said, okay. So I started one in Wilmington, Ohio at the Roberts Center. It went over pretty well. And then we ended up moving here after a couple shows. And we started in that building right there. That assembly building was the first building that we started at.
So it started as one building.
It started as one building. with 150 tables. And then we grew into this building while we were here. So then we went to almost 200 tables. And then we got hit with COVID. And I had just walked away from my job to do this full time. And I was like, what am I going to do? Well, I fought tooth and nails to try to get an event. So during COVID, we ended up being the only toy show going in the entire country. And that's just a blessing is what it was. And so we were the only toy show going on. We ended up, people needed a show. So they came here and we ended up with 400 and some tables. They did really well. The next show was 500 and some tables. And now it's grown to every building here at the fairgrounds.
I've heard nothing but great things about this show.
Well, we appreciate that very much. We have the best vendors. So we don't do like guests. We don't do Hollywood guests, anything like that, autograph signings, wrestlers. We don't do that. Our showcases are vendors and the best toys around. So the cool thing is what you'll see here is you'll see guys walking around in overalls looking for pressed steel and tractors. And you'll see guys like me and you walking around here looking for what we're looking for. So the variety is just through the roof. And there's people right now walking the grounds from the UK, Mexico. There's a guy from Australia here.
So you got people all over the world
coming here to this show right here in Xenia. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and dealers from as far as California. Yeah, it's great.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we're very thankful.
Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
Absolutely, bud.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Come to the show.
It's about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and we are back at the venue. Everybody should be set up by now. There's still some vendors that are setting up, as you can see down there, and vendors are also doing a little bit of their shopping right now. Well, here we have event apparel. They have t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff for the Great Ohio Toy Show. I am gonna have to buy a t-shirt and probably a hoodie. Lots and lots of Marvel stuff seen here so far today. Older, newer. Oh, check it out. Some vintage Thundercats here. Muh 2. And a lot of the booths are already covered up, so we're not really gonna spend any time on those. Zoids, who remembers that? There you go.
I do.
Yeah, I remember Zoids. To your left, I think, yeah. Plenty of G.I. Joe stuff.
Okay.
Loose, sealed.
I kick myself every day from when I was a kid, and I had these all original.
Oh, we got some loose classified figures. May have to hit up these. Some real nice classic metal toys here. Plushies. Something not uncommon to see. We have a Jetfire here. Omega Supreme I don't see very often at all at shows. Visionaries, carded original Visionaries figure. 150 bucks. There are even trading cards at this show. Some booths have a lot of rare stuff too, a lot of rare trading cards. NECA, of course, at every toy show. And Transformers, Voltron. Even game systems and games. Lots of newer Transformers, legacy stuff, War for Cybertron, some studio series. This is all Walmart type stuff, I think. Lots of vintage here.
Okay, got a little bit of vintage. Just a little bit. We'll start loading this stuff off.
More newer Marvel Legends and Transformers, NECA. There's a lot of newer, modern toys at this toy show. This booth is set up right next to us and has all kinds of vintage Barbie and Barbie type figures. Oh, look, more of the Motu origins that so many of us got stuck with after it took so long to get them. We are getting close to time to lock up, and I probably won't be able to do very much of this tomorrow. I keep hearing that we're going to be extremely busy, and they're saying they're expecting between 7,000 and 9,000 people in attendance tomorrow. The Sewer Lair. Buy, sell, trade, modern, vintage, and custom toys. These guys are from Terre Haute. A-Team, you don't see that around all the time.
I'm the last one in. I was just waiting for you guys to lock up, so I'm covering now.
This is what I like to see. Bins of carded figures.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
I'll have to.
Up in 5 or 10 and at most.
I'll have to hit this one up tomorrow if I get a chance.
Hey, it's all for sale now if you see something.
It's good to know. Just a second and I'll take a look through these bins.
Okay. Apparently I'm not ready to sell something. Those guys were down in there. We can shut this one down.
It's just after 6 a.m. Vendors are rolling in and everything's starting to open up. The show actually opens up at 8 a.m. Check this out. All kinds of monster stuff. Mego style figures. These are NECA. Saw some Walking Dead. Just a huge setup. Some people may disagree, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you're setting up at a toy show, price your stuff. People walking around that want to buy things want to see prices on them. If I don't see a price on something, I assume that it's either higher than you actually want to admit. You don't want people seeing how high you have something priced, or you just have no idea what you want for it and you're waiting for an offer, or you're going to throw out a random number. Price your stuff if you're setting up at a toy show. Okay, we're at almost 8 o'clock. It's about 15 till right now. You can see all the vehicles lining up, winding around behind me. They go from directly behind my head all the way back up the road, waiting to get in. This is going to be a massive show. We're at almost 11 o'clock. This place is packed. It's like going to a county fair. It's awesome. All the buildings are full of people. Oh my God. So there's a huge line over at the food truck that has tenderloins. Yeah, the fried tenderloin sandwiches. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in the line to grab something for lunch. It's about 12:30 right now, and as you can see, everything is still going strong, and this show is not slowing down. Everything is packed. All the buildings are full of people going through everything. It's awesome. I didn't really get a chance to do any more filming at the actual toy show, but in closing, I have to say that the Great Ohio Toy Show was fantastic. It was an amazing experience just to go and walk around and see all of the vendors that were set up. The owners of the show are great people, super friendly, and happy to help out with absolutely anything that they possibly can. If you get a chance to go visit the Great Ohio Toy Show, they do one in the spring and they do one in the fall. Absolutely do it. It's all the hotels around there were sold out. There were thousands of people, even up to less than an hour before the show closed. There were still around 1,000 people on the grounds that were there for the show, not just vendors. 7 buildings full of vendors. I mean, it was just a huge amount of toys from every aspect of things that you can imagine. I mean, everything from like vintage Fisher Price stuff all the way up to high-end collectible statues and cars and whatnot. I mean, it was just a sight to be seen. I hope that I get to set up at the Great Ohio Toy Show again sometime in the future, and am thankful for the opportunity to have gotten to do this. Thanks to Lost and Found Toys, they're sharing the space that they had with me. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video and a look at the Great Ohio Toy Show in Xenia, Ohio. Check them out on Facebook, and it's a great show, so go if you have a chance to. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you were there. Let me know if you saw me. I know several people mentioned to me that they had seen the channel, that they watched my videos and whatnot. So check out the description for links to useful Facebook groups, Amazon stuff, and to some things in my eBay store. Also my Teespring shop where you can buy action media reviews and merchandise, t-shirts and whatnot. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, see you soon.